My name's Noelle Sisk, and I work for FACT Oregon, and I'm a program coordinator for the Family Network and the Parent Training Information Center.
How should a parent prepare for an IEP meeting?
The IEP process can be very overwhelming. I am a parent of a child who experiences a disability, so I have experienced about 5 IEP meetings now. The best way that I prepare for each year's IEP meeting, or the ones that I have during the year if we have concerns going on, is I start with a person-centered plan, because that tends to be the vision and the goal set that we have for our daughter and what is most meaningful to her. And so having that document up to date and ready to go with, as we explained in the other video, what works, what doesn't work, her likes, her dislikes, things that her strengths, things that she's gifted at, all of those things will go into the strengths section of the IEP when you get to that under present levels of academic performance. So they can pull some of those things in there so that it's not just a couple sentences saying Olivia is friendly and she likes Barney. It's going to be meaningful things that are specific about her with her strengths, gifts, and capacities. And a person-centered plan, it definitely assists with that, because within the IEP meeting, if your child is not able to come, then it's great to have that representation there to remind us who this meeting is about. And it's not just the assessments and evaluations on the pages in front of us. And then if they are able to come, they could do it within, they could participate by using a PowerPoint or kind of explaining their own person-centered plan, what they love about school and what they want to achieve from school, which is very powerful within a meeting like that. And then it also helps with the fact that maybe all the professionals there haven't met your kiddo. So it's helpful to have that positive strengths-based document with pictures and successes in their life, so that other people get the full, well-rounded picture of who the child and what the meeting's about. And then the second thing that I prepare would be parent input. And it is always written parent input. And so that would be when you're going through the IEP, you have the present levels of academic performance, which always starts with the strengths of the child, and then parent concerns. And that is your chance to have written input about what your concerns regarding your child's education are, and have it actually typed into the document. And sometimes when you get to that section, you'll just be asked and you'll explain verbally maybe what some of your concerns are. But to show up with that typed and very well thought through, and knowing exactly what your goals for the year are and what you envision your child's access to education being, is very impactful. And it makes it so that those concerns are then directly put into the IEP. So it just really avoids the idea that you were telling a story and kind of explaining what your concerns are, and maybe the note taker or the case manager got most of it, but mom shared thoughts or dad shared thoughts is often, kind of what encapsulates that section. And and an IEP can be an emotional experience for a parent. And so it's just helpful for myself to have that person-centered plan already and that written parent input already, so that I kind of already put my homework into what my concerns going forward are.
So both of these documents help the parent prepare themselves, and also help the other people in the meeting fully understand and make sure that what is important actually gets written in the final IEP document.
Exactly, because so many, and this is not well-meaning, but what a teacher may have as far as a vision for your kiddo is, it may be from September to June for just that year. And so when you're going from the very beginning of that document, going through, it can be a lot of things. Like a free and appropriate public education can be implemented in a IEP that's not robust. And you really want a robust, rigorous IEP. So what is able to drive what those goals are and what those, how that access to education is going to happen can really happen definitely from what you put into that parent input and those visions that you have for your child within your person-centered plan.
What else should a parent do?
For myself, I would not have had the tools to advocate for my daughter and her education if I had not gone to an IEP training. That really, really helped me get comfortable with the process. We went through the IEP, which is a legal document, page by page, and it's a long document, and it's a lot of educational jargon and some acronyms, and if you're not comfortable with it, sometimes it's hard to really have meaningful input. And you really want to be able to have meaningful input on every page. I mean, there are definitely some things that you leave to the teachers to decide, the IEP to other members on the team of expertise to decide, but for you to be able to know what's coming next, know what kind of questions to ask, and know how to kind of navigate that interaction with the team in a positive way is so important. And I learned all those tools through an IEP training through FACT. And the original placement for my daughter would have been a restrictive environment, and I would not have had the tools to understand what other options were for special education services outside of that restrictive placement if I'd not gone to an IEP training.
So for IEP trainings, if a parent is outside of Oregon, where should they go to get this training?
Well, I think a lot of states have parent training information centers, which are called PTIs, and you can usually find those on your Department of Education, whatever state it is, that website. And then oftentimes you will find trainings on IEPs through some of the more like DD services, or some hospitals will have specialists come in, or through schools. Sometimes they'll offer trainings for parents through schools or through early intervention to get more comfortable with the process. So, and then most of my favorite resources are online resources, which are then nationally known. So you can find those on our website as well.
Anything a parent should do after an IEP plan has been implemented, best practices?
Well, it's just really good because this is a marathon. You're going to have a lot of IEP meetings. And so it's really good to follow up with a thanks for meeting, thank you for, your input on my child's education, and just having that open line of communication is so important, with the idea that it's not like, okay, well, we'll see you next year, because usually the process is that you'll have annual IEPs. Being able to have that open communication throughout the year and knowing how to make that relationship with the members on the IEP team, and knowing that you as a parent are an equal member of that IEP team and playing that role throughout the year, not just at that one meeting, is really important.